All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're looking at a piece of media that is so culturally everywhere that it's easy to forget it was once a massive, unprecedented risk. I'm talking about the iconic title track from Disney's 1991 classic, Beauty and the Beast. But listen, we aren't just going to talk about a pretty melody here. We're going to trace the unbelievable shockwaves this one single song sent crashing through the worlds of animation, pop music, and global business.
Seriously, think about the stakes for a second. We're talking about a track performed by a British-American actress playing an enchanted teapot, explaining love to a teacup. I mean, no way, right? Yet, this exact sequence broke a 30-year chart drought, completely pioneered computer-generated imagery in film, and launched one of the highest-selling female pop stars in human history. So, how did that happen? Well, we have to go back to the very beginning.
Section 1. Writing a Timeless Tale. Our first ripple really begins with the unlikely and honestly pretty poignant origins of the song. The year is 1990. The Disney Renaissance is just starting to find its footing. Lyricist Howard Ashman and composer Alan Menken had a really specific vision for this track. They wanted, quote, the height of simplicity. But the backtrack to that simplicity was heartbreaking. Because of Ashman's failing health, he was battling AIDS at the time, some of the film's pre-production actually had to be relocated to a hotel in Fishkill, New York, just to be near his home. And it was right there, in that hotel room, that this duo crafted a Broadway-inspired lullaby that would become the absolute emotional anchor of the whole film. Ashman's subtle, brilliant lyrics are honestly a masterclass in mathematical perfection. Just 29 lines in total, and practically every single line is exactly 5 syllables long. Tale as old as time, true as it can be. It's so incredibly restrained. It doesn't tell some sprawling, epic story. Instead, it just describes two people learning to accept their differences, bending unexpectedly and changing for the better. The feeling of love is framed as something as ancient and inevitable as the sunrise itself. It's a total masterpiece of songwriting economy.
Section 2. One-take magic. So, writing a masterpiece is only half the battle, right? You still need someone to bring it to life. Disney turned to the legendary Angela Lansbury to voice Mrs. Potts. But get this, Lansbury severely doubted her ability to sing this track. She was a stage veteran, totally used to up-tempo numbers. She felt this ballad had this rock-influenced pop style that she just wasn't familiar with. And more than that, she worried her aging singing voice simply wasn't strong enough to sustain those longer notes. She actually suggested they find another actress, but the songwriters flat out refused. They insisted she sing it exactly as she envisioned the character.
And adding to the intense drama of the whole situation, the recording session almost didn't even happen. Lansbury was flying to New York to record with a live orchestra, mostly because Menken and Ashman preferred the singers and musicians to perform together in the exact same room. But her flight was delayed by a literal bomb threat, forcing a terrifying emergency landing in Las Vegas. For hours, the studio had absolutely no idea where she was, and they were totally panicking about rescheduling the whole thing. But, remarkably, once she finally arrived safely in New York, the magic just happened. Lansbury stepped up to the microphone and recorded the entire song from beginning to end in a single, flawless take. The producer recalled that they picked up a couple of lines later, but essentially, that one take is the exact version you hear in the movie. Her fragile, motherly tone was so moving that it literally brought everyone present in the recording studio to tears.
Section 3. Animating the impossible.
Okay, so to match the emotional weight of Lansbury's vocals, the animators knew they had to create a true wowie moment, a sequence that would make audiences literally gasp. This, of course, becomes the famous ballroom scene. But the CGI ballroom was so wildly experimental, the filmmakers were terrified it just wouldn't work. I mean, computer animation for backgrounds was completely unfamiliar territory in 1991. They were so uncertain about the tech that they created a literal dark backup plan. If the computers crashed and burned, they jokingly called it the Ice Capades version. Belle and the Beast would just dance in a completely black void with a single spotlight shining on them. The actual process of building this room was agonizing. First, they used this sort of chicken wire frame for the room, with Belle and the Beast represented by crude, computer-animated boxes and eggs, literally just to choreograph the dance. Then they upgraded to these stiff, line-drawn versions. And finally, using a revolutionary software called CAPS, created by a little startup you might know called Pixar, they were able to digitally paint the traditionally animated characters seamlessly into the 3D environment. This established the first ever full-dimensional, computer-generated, colored background in movie history.
The absolute secret weapon here. was the virtual camera. The sweeping vertical movement completely revolutionized computer animation. By mimicking live-action tracking shots, dropping down from the 3D chandelier, swooping around the couple's feet, panning across the 72-foot-high room, the camera didn't just show the space. It gave a visual expression to the soaring emotions of the characters. It proved to all the Hollywood skeptics, once and for all, that CGI could deliver profound, sweeping, emotional resonance.
Section 4. The Pop Transformation.
So Disney now faced a massive commercial gamble. The film was looking like a total hit, and it was definitely going to garner Oscar nominations. But Disney had a problem. They don't want the Academy vote to split between the film's multiple great songs, and they desperately needed radio airplay to promote the movie. But Lansbury's beautiful acoustic lullaby wasn't exactly top 40 material, right? So they recruited a young, rising Canadian singer named Celine Dion. Interestingly enough, she almost declined the offer. She had just been fired from singing the theme for the animated film An American Tail, Fievel Goes West, in favor of Linda Ronstadt. Because Dion was relatively unknown in the US at the time, Disney paired her with the established American R&B singer Peabo Bryson just to guarantee that US market appeal, and they brought in Walter Afanasieff at the power station to produce the whole thing.
The musical contrast between the two versions is staggering. Lansbury's film version was incredibly delicate and acoustic, featuring woodwinds and trembling violins. But the Dion and Bryson single, it's a completely different beast, pun fully intended. It's highly produced, leaning heavily on synthesizers, a jazzy electric oboe, surprisingly heavy drums, and paired with these massive belting R&B pop vocals.
While some film critics at the time found the pop version a bit, well, overwrought compared to the film, the public disagreed completely. The success of this pop transformation was monumental. It broke a stunning 30-year absence of Disney songs on the pop charts. It shot straight to number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving once and for all that Disney tunes could transcend the movie theater and absolutely dominate the radio.
Section 5. A Lasting Legacy.
The success of Beauty and the Beast fundamentally rewired the entertainment industry. The song just absolutely dominated award season, taking home Golden Globes, Grammys for both the pop version and the film composition, and of course the Academy Award for Best Original Song. Tragically, Howard Ashman passed away from AIDS 8 months before the film's release, so the Oscar win was a deeply poignant posthumous victory, accepted on his behalf by his partner, Bill Launch. It really was a beautiful farewell to his unparalleled imagination.
But the commercial ripples, those were just as massive. Because of this, single Celine Dion went from a rising star to an absolute household name. The global success of the duet directly earned her a massive $10 million record contract with Sony Music. It launched her into global pop superstardom, paving the way for her to become the undisputed queen of the movie soundtrack, with huge hits for Sleepless in Seattle, Up Close and Personal, and of course Titanic.
And the song's ongoing legacy is undeniable. It essentially set the template for the 90s Disney movie. Every studio suddenly realized they needed a blockbuster pop cover for their end credits. Plus, it proved its timeless appeal by moving to the Broadway stage in 1994 and then finding a whole new generation in 2017 with the live-action film, featuring a platinum-selling cover by Ariana Grande and John Legend. It's simply a song that refuses to age.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. Howard Ashman and Alan Menken sat in a hotel room in New York and tried to write something that was the height of simplicity. Just 29 lines of lyrics, 5 syllables each. Yet, that simple idea pushed computer science forward, created a music legend, and captured the hearts of literally millions of people. It's such an incredible testament to the immense power of simplicity and taking creative risks. If a song about a teapot can change the world, what other simple ideas are out there just waiting for someone brave enough to sing them? Thanks so much for watching, and as always, keep learning.